Some of the older Metroid games absolutely need a remake. Or do they? For the past few months, there's been a lot of discussion in the Metroid community about the potential for more remasters and even full-on remakes for the 2D Metroid game. Take Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion, for example. Some people want these classics reimagined with 3D assets, similar to Metroid Samus Returns. Now, Metroid 1 and 2, yeah, those needed remakes. Expecting newcomers to start with some dusty-ass NES game isn't exactly the easiest way to introduce them to the series. Super Metroid, though, I can see the argument. It's an incredible game with some iconic moments, but the movement in combat can feel off. Visually, though, Super Metroid has aged beautifully. If all we're talking about is minor control tweaks, that doesn't seem like enough to justify a full-on remake or remaster. Same with Fusion. That game needs it even less. In fact, Dread iterated on several of Metroid Fusion's ideas in the sense that it already kind of feels like a spiritual remake of sorts. So hear me out. Instead of getting new remakes or remasters, how about we get, and this might be controversial, but new games? I've said it before and I'll say it again. This series has had way too many release gaps between new games, and I mean entirely new games. Recycling old stories but with better graphics and smoother controls only limits the series' potential. If the series can successfully build on what works with fans while taking risks with innovative new releases, it could have a Breath of the Wild moment, one that brings in an entirely new audience and thus the potential for new games. But constantly re-releasing old titles risks drawing attention away from that kind of growth. So yeah, I'd much rather see Nintendo invest in creating brand new Metroid games instead of revisiting past ones yet again. And that's where I stand on the topic of